Good afternoon, everybody. We made it. This is Butterfly Square Garden. My name is Jason Sebastian, and we are having fun with a pencil. That's what this class is. If you were here with us yesterday, we learned about drawing circles. That's how we started our class. I called it casting a circle. Get those out of the way. Right here on my hand. That's what I did. We casted a circle, just like a witch would. Uh-huh. And I'm just following along the lines that I did yesterday. Building on what I have. We learned about that. Building a structure. And then once you have your foundation, you can just go in with your ink, choosing the lines that you want and leaving out the ones that you don't. Ta-da! That was pretty good. Blow on it. If anyone wants to know what I'm using, these are... That's like never gonna work. Body mark. I'm holding it upside down. I love these, that's why I'm showing you. It's not even. Body mark, Bic, tattoo pens. And I've got a whole bunch of them, and I love to do tattoos. So, if you're an aspiring tattoo artist, maybe drawing is a skill that could be valuable to you, because drawing is a valuable skill, but it's also really fun. It's a spiritual thing. It's very, what do I want to say? It's stress relieving. It's just very human. So, we already got through a lot of this book. This is where we ended up. We did this yesterday. Maybe I want to flip real quick so you guys can learn. That's what I'll do. I'll be like, this is what we did yesterday. So I won't flip through the book every single day, but, you know, I'll say, this is what we did yesterday. You know, it talked about what drawing is, delineation, look it up. Why this book? Because it's fun. How do you do it? Draw a circle. Who's this guy? He's made of a circle. That's his head. So, Mr. Blook. If I'm moving fast, I'm just trying to get the class started, everybody. That's how it goes around here. We learned about circles and making them into spheres using lines, and you basically divide it up into hemispheres. And once you know how to do that, then you start to lay the foundation, the planes of the face, you know. You can use simple forms. Everything, you know, is pretty much made out of circles and rectangles and cones, and that's what we got up to. So we gave it a try, and then the next page said this is where the fun starts. So thank you for my introduction. Moving on. The big idea is to start with a form. This is an hour-long class, by the way, so sit tight. If you want to learn how to draw, follow along. Start at the beginning. That's what we're doing. I wouldn't recommend skipping around in this book. Go through it word by word, drawing by drawing, with the paper and pencil in hand. That's what we're doing. So, this is his other book, Drawing the Head and the Hands, and I'm using that one too, because I want to get really good at drawing, guess what? Heads and hands, we're getting into the sketchbook, everybody. Sketchbooks are such a personal thing. I like to call this the Book of Shadows because in witchcraft, that's like a witch's diary. That's kind of what this is. But you can call it a journal, you know, a sketchbook, whatever. Jason Sebastian, seer, seeing things. This is all about seeing things. The pentagram summons power. You know, it kind of incorporates the elements. Look it up. Yeah, I'm just gonna flip through this real quick. You know, I've got kids we're drawing in here. I was writing. I was drawing from life. More writing. More ideas. I use this to sketch my designs and my little creations, but then this is what I'm working on. You do the circles and then you put the planes of the face on. I've been doing Mickey's. Oh my goodness, the light is in my eyes. What am I going to do, everybody? This is like the worst thing. Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. Can I get through the class by... I'll just move up this way. That's fine. I'm not stopping the video to run and get a hat. I'm sorry. But look at Mickey's magical hat. I love Mickey because he's magic. Magic, magic, magic. Are you starting to notice the theme? Tinkerbell. Magic, magic, magic. Not to be only Disney, but, have you seen Fantasia? More ideas, more skulls. I'm going to skip. I just want to start class, but, that was a good one. And now I'm starting to actually draw people in my life because I attend AA meetings every day, and I draw people at them. But I've got ukulele songs written in here. I'm learning ukulele. More drawings of people, more songs, more circles. Do 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 do. Skipping around. That was practice. This is what we did yesterday. I just told you in the book. So these are finished, but if you want to see how I actually constructed them, like second by second, you can actually follow along. And that includes these guys down here. The Mickey I got cut off at the end. So if that happens again today, I'm sorry, but my phone only has so much battery. Anyway, oh, and then this is what I did this morning. I'm drawing more people. So, of course, they're not really the best, but you can see I wrote in my book, drawing every day is more important than drawing well every day. So remember that, everybody. Not to be all inspirational and everything. So, finally, he's getting to the fun part. We're drawing. We got through the boring introduction. No, it wasn't. It was really fun. This book is so funny. His book. Mine is like, a work in progress. But... maybe I'll move the camera a little closer. Okay, so if you may read along with me, haha, this is where the fun starts. The big idea is to start with a form and then develop other forms on it. Build your final lines in by selection, eliminating the lines you do not use. I leave mine in to show how it's done. I do the same thing, but you can't see the action of creation. You need to really, it's monkey see, monkey do. That's kind of how drawing works. But this book really, really breaks it down into like a really easy way. So... actually, this might be a little too close. That's good, right? Okay. I was so tired today, but I'm like kind of full of energy. Isn't that funny? So now we try again. If your shapes do not match mine, it doesn't matter. But the first time through, I'm gonna try to make him like his. So I'm not even looking at the bottom row yet, because it don't matter. I'm going to copy them pretty much exactly the same. And we talked about how drawing circles are like super important. Take your time and draw lightly. Just like that. And then this one is more like potato-y shaped, but maybe it's like a roundish egg. A rounder egg. Some eggs are almost round. This one, I literally, if it wasn't you guys, I would do it right here. Maybe I'm gonna do it anyway, just to show you that there's really no reason to use. Going on the crack of the book is like totally fine. Say crack again. Crack. All right, so That's the first line. We did it. That took only a second. Now let's move on to the second line. Any shape will do. Get the working principle. Remember the sides of the face should match. Do not make one cheek or ear larger than the other. Unless you want to. But if you're going by, face symmetry, I mean, that's kind of what we do. And then he divides it, kind of like that. That's like a do. I know it's going to be a little harder to draw on the crack, but I'm still going to do it because I want to prove to you guys that it's like no big deal. That's what being creative is all about. I was about to tell you a Zen story, but I don't want to do that right now. Yeah, I will. But in between, I'll come back to it if I have time. So we did what he said. Add the nose and then the lines on top. All blue lines are light lines. When drawn in as you want them, erase until faint, and then bang in the heavy lines for a final drawing. And I think he said go nose, and then I'm going to do cheeks and mouth, chin, ears. I think there was a very specific way. Basically, he wants you to do eyes and mouth and eyebrows last because those are like the most expressive and those are really the only things that move. The ears and the chin and the nose pretty much always stay the same. So, that guy, oh, he didn't draw the hair, but I'm going to draw the hair down here just because I want to remember that it's there. I guess I don't even need to. There's a couple things that it's like, he inks a lot more at the end. I don't know. Did I not show you myself drawing that? Alright, well that's what that looks like. Anyways, moving on. This guy's got really big cheeks. Smile connects them, and he's got another lip under it. Oh, I forgot you're not supposed to do the mouth right away, but oh well, I did. I did it after the cheeks. And I don't know. He talks about the order. I'm going to read it real quick after I do this, just so I remember myself. I stayed up late reading this book. That's why I'm tired today. But anyways, over here it says divide the ball anyway, add the nose, then add the cross lines above and below, then add the eyes, ears, mouth, nose, blah, blah, blah. Attach couple balls. Huh. Maybe he talks about the order later. I don't know. Going back and forth. That's how learning works. You're allowed to go forwards and backwards and pause the video and do it again. A lot of these I've done over and over and over, so don't think that this is like my first time. Well, actually, some of them are my first time, so I shouldn't even be saying that. Oh, gotta put in the ear before the hairline, or maybe not. I don't know. So, I'm moving kind of fast for myself today, but I'm just having fun with my pencil, yos. Oh man, I wish I could, how could I do that? I had to tilt it so we can all get it on screen. I'm trying to draw a little bigger for you guys today. The book's totally gonna fall, but it's okay. Is this a black pen? Does it work? That's good enough for me. So yeah, draw fairly large. Since your shapes are your own, you originate faces, even though they're not our own yet, but we'll get there. We're drawing Mr. Blook. Drawing Mr. Blook, and I gotta keep my fat fingers out of the way while I draw my Mr. Blook. That's hard to do with the pen. Oh, I do not like... Oh, man. I had such a good inky pen yesterday. This one's not as good as inky, but whatever. Maybe it'll get... No, it's not working at all. Do. Switching it up. Let's try this guy. Don't be afraid to just give up on a supply. Before I was using pen, I was using black colored pencil, and doing solid lines, you have to press really hard, so I learned that I actually like using pen because I don't have to press as hard. So I'm not really afraid to put in these lines because I'm literally just like tracing over, what I have underneath. So that's literally what drawing is, everybody. Putting some lines over here. Boy, oh boy, I would love to have a marker or like one of those fountain pens that like really lay down the ink, because this pen is, I mean, ballpoint pens are good for sketching, but I guess not for inking my animations, because these are eventually going to be animated, right? Or your creatures, whatever. What's this? Oh, I love it, but it's not dark enough. It's like a paint pen almost. I need more paint pens. When I was teaching kids, they loved, I had like a watercolor pen, and they loved that stuff. So the nose is like a little ball, and then it's kind of like a little W on top. So what did he say? Start from the cranium, but the whole thing is the cranium, isn't it? Hairline. No, you're supposed to go like on the midline. Whatever, I guess it doesn't really matter because none of these shapes are like complicated at all. I'm just overthinking it. Boop, 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 boop. So the whole point is that like your eye really only looks at the dark lines. But I like leaving the construction lines because I think they're pretty. And it's like they tell a story. They're like footprints in the sand. You can see where people have been. Is that good enough? I could probably be better about like inking in the lines, but the pen just isn't dark enough. I'm gonna try this other one. But it's blue, and I know it's not the same. What do I want to start with? The nose. Do. And he's like the cheeks over here. La la la. Here's ear. And then do. He's got like a lower lip over here, and then the chin, and then the neck. Emphasizing the ear spot. Maybe I should have done the eyes already, but I'm doing them now. And didn't I say start at the top, and I like started at the bottom this time for some reason? Let's see the eyebrows. Boop, 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 boop. I mean, even if it doesn't come out the same as his, he's like, do your own shapes, man. Like, that's okay. That one maybe didn't come out as good. I was also drawing on the crack of the book, so I told you that it's okay if you mess up sometimes. No, it's not the worst. I mean, that's not bad. Maybe I can fix it a little over here. Cleaning up your lines really does make a difference. Like that's, I kind of want to bring his nose in a little bit more. It was bothering me. Boop boop boo doo. Out of all of them, I think the black pen that I was using was the best, even though it was thinner. Do 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 do. So that was fun. 20 minutes into class, and we've got our first 3 faces, everybody. I want to give them a background, but I don't know what I'm going to put around them just yet. So we got through another page. Let's flip to the page 16, everybody. Ooh, exciting. Oh my goodness. I got to zoom out. No, I don't. So, according to this book, a sure method for anybody. Is that the best we can focus? Yep. These are happen heads, just plain duck soup for you. They're easy. A lot of the sayings in this book are from like 100 years ago. It's the only sad part about this book because it really is a funny book, but Andrew Loomis would have been so happy to see the work that we're doing. So like, don't forget to show me your work. Drop a comment below with what you're thinking. So let's just start with 1, 2, 3, 4 balls that are like exactly the same. Ba ba ba. I'm like, do I look at the screen? Do I look at the book? Doesn't really matter because I can see the same. The first one was a little too small, so I'm going to make a bigger one next. And then a bigger one. Well, I kind of went off the page again. But it's okay, because he's facing in a way that it's okay. So, also, don't forget to practice your circles. Like, do a couple pages of circles. That's okay. In fact, that would be like really good. I did like lots of just circles. Next, 1, 2, 3, 4. He said, draw 4 balls about the same size. They don't even need to be round. And add a small ball. Place it. Oops. Place it anywhere inside or touching the first ball. So this one's kind of crossed over, and that's up here. This is here, and that's there. Good. I'm glad I did that on camera this time. And now, the next thing, divide the ball so that the division lines cross at a point under the nose. That makes sense. Wah, wah, wah. Let's see if we can add that to our own drawings, everybody. All together now. Ba, 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 ba. All together now. Ba, 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 ba. So according to those cross lines, I don't it's good enough. I'm going to leave the nose exactly how it is. It's funny because in his other books he talks about doing the cross lines first and then adding the features, but this one's a little different. But then he changes it up again later in the book, so I'm like, you know what? If this is the order, this is the order. This last one is like barely even. Boop 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 boop. So after that, add cross lines above and below nose as you did before, and now build in the rest. The ears always go on a line halfway around the head form, the middle line to the face. Finish any way you wish. Lots of fun. I just read through them all, so I can just get back to drawing. La 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 la. Sorry. He said he wants cross lines. I'll give him cross lines. I don't like where the nose was, so I brought it up, and then I added a line. And you're allowed to move stuff. Ain't no one saying you can't. But just be aware, it could mess up your drawing if you start in one spot and then go somewhere else. This is one you can't even really see, but I'm just going to do a little dashes where things would be. Next up is this cute little guy. Let's start with, again, the nose. making it a little darker this time. And then the eyes are on the eye line, eyebrows. The hairline is like back here. And then we mentioned the ears are on the horizontal line over here. And ears here. Ha ha ha, that's what they do. Adding in the cheeks and the mouth. It's kind of getting jumbled, but I think when I ink it in, it'll be okay. And it was a small one. That was harder because it was so small. But you never know. It can like change by the time you ink it in. It can be like totally different. Next up is this cute little guy. Look at that cute little face. There's nothing else to talk about, so I'm just gonna draw it real quick. And then the mouth kind of goes there, and we draw on the cheeks and the ears. I mean, I guess depending on the angle, because the whole point is you're supposed to feel it out yourself. But there is like a physical way to construct a drawing, and he does get really deep into it, but I don't remember where he talks about what. I was really tired when I read the book last night, so I kind of started skipping through the pictures at the end. Now we're gonna draw this clown face over here. Got the nose, which is like going off the page. I didn't really do it that way before. Well, not the page, but the face. And the little cheek balls, and the eyes here are like kind of weird little teardrops, but they've still got eyebrows, so I'm going to add them in. And the ear on this side, little dash marks, mouth, and the chin, hairline and ear, and that's it for this face. Again, a little trouble going over the midline of the book, but that's okay. He's got a cute little swoopy in his hair, and then a Calvin W. That's what I'm going to call it, from Calvin and Hobbes. We should practice drawing Calvin one day. That would be fun, because everyone loves Calvin. And now for the last face, we're going to block him in right over here. I'm trying to keep it all on screen for you. The nose goes into the ball. Wah, wah. The eyes are like this weird Mickey Mouse side W. And he's sad. He's pouting. See, he's adding things in. It's like he's skipping steps in between in order to get the point across, but he gets more in depth later, so I feel like I'm drawing it a little wrong, but it's okay, because if I am wrong, he'll correct me later in the book, so you don't gotta worry about it. And then he's got a cigar, and it's drooping because he's sad. Drawings are so expressive. I love it. I'm making his head a little bigger. And that's our construction lines. I rub my eyes because they're like burning. That's what happens when I don't get enough sleep. Okay, drink some water. Sorry. I mean, thank you. What do I want to ink this in with now? It's like, really, I don't have anything better. Oh well, I'm just gonna keep going with this one. It'll just be a thinner line, but it doesn't matter. Whoa, 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 whoa. So, going back. I'll probably have to move the book in a second, but whatever. La 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 la. We're going to draw this guy on top of our construction lines. Let's start with the nose. Well, actually, no, let's start with the top of the head. That's why I stopped using this pen, because it doesn't write well. Hairline. Ears. Chin. Yeah, definitely should have started with the nose. Do that next time. Did not make the nose. Let's see. Too late now. We just gave him an extra big chin, so that's okay. It's like if people don't see this book but only see my drawings, they'll be like, "Oh my goodness, how did you do that?" And I'm like, "Ha ha ha," by messing up what I was supposed to do in the book. But, you know, if you see a drawing and you don't understand how drawings are constructed, it's just magic. The more I learn about magic, the more I realize that it's like kind of just science. It's like figuring stuff out. Smart people stuff. Not even, just intuition. That's a good little drawing of a man. Give him a little more hair. I think the drawing would be better with like a marker or a inkier pen. I just don't want to get up from my chair, so I'll stop talking about it. Let's try this pen. Nope, I like this one. Again, try out different art supplies. Now we're drawing this guy on top of our construction lines. Right over here, everybody. Starting with the nose. It's like the center of the face. And then I'm going to give him the mouth. And the chin. And the cheek goes off the head. It's got a little wrinkle. I'm going to draw this eye over here. Uh-oh. He's like looking to the side. I don't want to make him cross-eyed, so like actually take a second to try to get the eyes to match as well as you can. Okie dokies. Give him little eyelashes, little eyebrows, whatever. And then right over here is where the hairline comes in, the ear. Dude, this is very similar to the first one. It's just like slightly tilted. Do 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 do. You can't really see the cheeks drawn in on this side though. La 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 la. Yeah, they're like very little. Oh, you know what? I don't know. I just gave him like 3 chins. Oh, well. That was a mistake. Oh, well. That's fine. If I were to cover it, oh, well. Oh, you know what? I think it's just very round. So, that's how you learn. I'm trying to practice inking it in without being like really hesitant. Just have a strong line. And my ink, I think if I had inkier ink, I would be happier with it. do, do, do. I'm just starting with the nose, and I'm drawing this guy over here. I'm drawing him, and I'm drawing him. You know what? He missed that ear in black. And it's not throwing me off, but it just kind of makes me laugh. Because you can only do so much. You know, we just expect perfection from everybody all the time. And art is kind of more like what's the good word? Not a journey, like exploration. Yeah. That's what kids are really good at, exploring, especially with new environments. As a teacher, I'm like really into behavioral psychology, if you haven't noticed. La 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 la, and we're gonna get in a good little swoop. For stuff like this, he completely blocked in like with a marker, or not, I don't know. Maybe I can even get a brush one day and ink it in with a brush. I would love that. Do 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 do. Last one, this guy over here, and I can't believe I got them all on camera, but if it fits on screen, don't question it. Starting with this really weird like eye shape. And his nose like comes, oh, I totally messed that up. Oh well. Now it just looks like a shadow line. And then it comes out the bottom lip, and that's a cigar. I'm giving it smoke so that it doesn't look like a dick. Sorry if there's kids watching this. Oh my god. But it's not a kid's video. I took it off. Sorry kids, but like then my peers wouldn't be able to comment, and I want students. I will have a kids class, but that'll be like in person. Do 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 do. In fact, I've been drawing with a semi class. It's like one kid on Thursdays and Fridays, and that's been fun. It's like a notebook and a pen and a pencil is enough to keep some people, well, not some people, it's enough, you know, a paper and a pencil. I'm gonna shade in his hair just a little bit. I'm sure by the end my lines will be much cleaner, but you only got so many hours in a day to practice a lifetime worth of experience. So you just gotta get there however you get there. They're not perfect, but I like my faces so far. What do you guys think? Should I give up and jump in a river? No, don't. I'm kidding. So 20 minutes left in class. Do you think we'll be able to finish this page in 20 minutes? Because I would really like that. And then tomorrow it gets into the ball. Ugh, man, this is what I want to do now. But I guess we'll have to get into it tomorrow after we try drawing these faces without that technique. And then we'll see if the technique makes drawing easier tomorrow. But anyways, let's get through this page. It's really going to be easier than you expected. Now, if the first drawings you do are not the last word in cleverness, don't be discouraged. You will soon get the idea. When you begin to sense the form, you will have the whole works. Then we'll polish up, and they will have to admit you're good, the people who don't like your drawing. Anyways, excuse me while I grab a tissue over here. I'm a teacher, but I'm still human, and sometimes your nose is itchy, but nothing's in my beard, so we're all good. We read that part. Now, the middle line establishes the solidity of the form. The ultimate appearance of the drawing is the result of the basic forms you have built into it. So, what you do at the end, you know, is it's going to start like this and it'll end up looking like that. So, that's cool. As you learn, you can control the type of face by selecting shapes that give you the effect you want. You feel the expression even before finished, and that is something that's starting to happen, to me at least. I don't know about you guys. Because you hopefully are following along with your pen and pencil, so I want to see your works. They probably look really close to mine, which look close to his, because he's a good teacher and we're good students. So most folks only learn to draw one face and do it until it bores them. This way, you never get two alike. If you raise or lower, fatten or diminish, or invent the shapes you attach, you can vary the ball so many ways it adds much variety. And then at the bottom, he says, by the time you go through the book, you should be able to create almost any character you wish. Tall, short, thin, fat, jolly, sad, angular, pudgy, bony, gawky, any old kind you want. But just now we'll develop the head. It's very important. You want to draw Tweety Bird like me? This book will help you. Or Mickey Mouse or Big Bird. Your favorite character. The Beast, Ariel, Belle. You can draw people. I know I'm referencing Disney, but you know, they're kind of the big kahuna when it comes to animation these days. Goodness. I want to get them both on screen. Oh well. So, I already read it all, so I'm just going to start going through the shapes now. You know what? Here's what we're going to do. Boom! Now everything's better. I'll just draw on the bottom. I'll use this extra space to draw people at my meeting tomorrow, like I said in the beginning of the video. So, let's start with this circle right here. Bing, bang, boom. How are your guys' circles? Are you getting better at drawing circles? And then divide it in half. This one is like a, I don't know, a chicken nugget shape. Like a grimace. Not the face, the McDonald's guy. He's purple. And then we'll do two on this page. I'm like way looking down because the light's in the way. La 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 la. Now we're drawing this shape over here, which is kind of like a potato chip shape. And I didn't get it perfect the first time, so I'm just going around a couple more times. Maybe you want to go in the other direction. That helps with circles, like going in both directions. But eventually you just get a muscle memory for it. It's just like playing an instrument. Pencils are quiet instruments. Yeah, I mean, they do make noise. In fact, a lot of people make ASMR videos just of like the sound of them drawing. But I don't have the good enough soundware for that. And I also yell a lot, so that's not good for people who are trying to calm down. Oh man, I didn't even show you the last one I did. I did that. Let's just pretend I didn't draw it yet. So now we're gonna do this one over here. Do 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 do. That's it. We just did it for the first time. Just kidding. Now, this is gonna morph into this. So he had us draw the circle, then the line. Didn't even have the mouth one there. But that's because it becomes a mustache. Oh well. And then he draws the cheeks, and they're really big cheeks on that one. The chin comes down a little more, and the ears are like little elf shapes. Uh-huh. I'm making mine much bigger than the one in the book, if you haven't noticed. This one looks like a little, one of the 7 dwarfs. He looks like I just want to give him a little hat. And that can go around like that, and he's got a big cheek there. I'm drawing lightly, but it looks like you can. I'm looking at the monitor. You can still see what I'm doing. Moving on, because we want to. How much time do we have left? 15 minutes. Oh my goodness. Technically, I can go over half an hour, because there's something I got to do later, but you know, class comes first. Like I said earlier, you know, I was afraid that I was tired, but I'm like, I'm worried that if I don't do the class, then I won't do it later tonight. And it's just important to have the class because we're literally just reading out of the book. You know, it's not like we're running a marathon or anything. So I did that, and I did it over here. Same thing. He has us do the nose, eye thing on the top, and then the cheek and the cheek. Now that how many faces? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. Like, after doing the same thing over and over and over, you kind of start to be like, oh, okay. You know, I'm not really worried. Maybe we'll see if these our second set of faces, but that's more of our third set. The last faces might be better than their first faces, but you never know. So we finished we did that, now we're doing this. And again, if you wanted to go bing, bang, boom, boom, and then if you wanted to go horizontally or vertically, I don't think it really matters as long as you start here and you end here and you go in some sort of order. So underneath the nose, he's got a mustache and a chin thing over here, and he's got extra weight around the neck, which is really fun to draw. Like, no offense to anybody, but I saw someone at a meeting, and they were like, literally the clay, you know, like the woman figurine who's like completely round. I was like, oh man, that's beautiful. If you don't know what I'm talking about, like, look up the original female goddess. It'll probably surprise you if you don't know, but she's really fat. Big old bowl of jelly, just like Santa Claus. That's what they talk about in the last chapter. And he's got more definition to the ears. And I'm just putting lines like in between and on top of the lines I just did. So none of this feels brand new to me at this point. Oh man, I forgot to do it again. La la la. I'm drawing that guy. And, you know, start with the nose. And I can see the cheeks have more definition. He put like a little bit of a chin in it. The ears. I think I made the head a little bit too tall, so I made it a little fatter. Anyways, that is that. And now this guy's going to come over here. After that, we'll have one more face. And then we'll ink it in. This one's already almost done. I barely had to do anything. La 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 la. Do 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 do. I'm also a musician. I can't help myself. I sing and I play instruments. I come from a very artistic background. If you want to know, ask me in the comments. I talked about it in the last video. But shout out to LaGuardia High School and also to Joanne, my original art teacher. in her basement. I would love that job. Not to be a creeper. It doesn't have to be in a basement. It could be like in a library. Or it could be online with you guys. I'm an art teacher and I'm also an art student, but you guys are art teachers and students as well. The best way to learn is to teach. So if you guys want to learn anything about drawing, teach someone who doesn't know anything about drawing, and that probably won't be hard to find, and it'll probably make you feel good about being better than them. But not, don't be silly. Just be nice, because we just all want to draw together because it's so fun. So, anyways, I hope that was on camera. I drew this guy. You're just translating exactly what you see onto the paper, in the steps that he tells you to do it. So, since we did that pretty quickly, I'm going to have no problem just inking this face on right over here. And I like to start with the nose for now until we get into... Ugh, man, that pen wasn't working. I'm like literally... Ugh! I just threw the pen across the room because I kept picking it up even though it doesn't work. Doot, 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 doot. He's got a mustache that is out of fashion, but hey, so are corncob pipes, and those are in this book. And actually, full disclosure, a little later in the book, it starts getting into nationalities and different types of people, because it does say you can draw anyone you want, but they're caricatures, it's kind of like a comedian, so don't be offended if you see a culture that isn't represented in a way that makes you feel good. I mean, have a sense of humor, and maybe it'll make you feel good. Otherwise, just tolerate tolerate what you see, because we're here to learn how to draw. And when you learn about drawing everything and everyone, it kind of brings everyone and everything together. That's another thing I love about drawing. And I just really want to draw people's faces. It's such a fantasy of mine to have them pose for me, and then I would draw them. I like the way that one came out. Did I take my time? Maybe a little bit. Take your time, everybody. The slower you go, the better. And that's for real. When it comes to drawing, unless you're gesture drawing, then faster is better. And I like to do fast stuff. Sorry, my head's shiny. Anyways, just like this guy, he's bald on the head. Okay, how am I gonna do this? That's better. So now we're drawing this guy over here, and he's like this cute little button nose. I don't know. He's like kind of reminds me of Dopey. Like he's a happy but kind of dopey looking person. The other guys are more like older, regal. I think that's the word. I couldn't even tell you exactly what it means, but that's the word. I'm gonna have to look it up, because I'm gonna watch this video later and be like, now I'm curious. What exactly did I mean? Let me look it up. He's got these little bags under his eyes, and I don't remember. He does talk about all of the expressions later in the book, like anger is pulls your face into different angles, and frown is your eyebrows go down, whatever. So that's a really fun one. Expressions are fun. What a cute little old buckaroo. It's because he's wrinkly, and he's like a cute little old wrinkly man who, I don't know, maybe didn't have quite an intellectual life, but that's okay, because he can what's his job? Like, what kind of? I mean, not to judge people by their jobs, but that was cute, little man. I like him. I keep saying cute. La 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 la. Moving on. This guy. Oh my goodness, we have 5 minutes to finish class, everybody. I think we're gonna go overtime just a little bit, but just for funsies. Let's see if we can rush it a little bit. Because we're just inking it in. And honestly, like, in the studio, the animators will draw their original idea, and then they would literally have a staff of people to just ink their stuff in. And I'm sure that they just try to do it as fast as they can. Do. Maybe they go really slow. Maybe it's different person by person. La 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 la. Sometimes I wish I wasn't talking so much because drawing is such a non-verbal activity that you really zen out and you like lose yourself from the drawing. And I'm doing that a little bit. In fact, I'm doing that a lot. I'll look at the drawings later and be like, oh wow, I got a good job on that one. So that's nice, you know. If you want to do something that makes you feel good, just draw something and eventually, oop, those eyebrows do not line up the way I want them to. Oh well. So I put that guy, and I put him over here. And let's finish up strong. This guy, I wanted to finish the page, so I'm happy that we did before the phone cut out. Because I forgot to charge it all the way before the video again. And he's got a cute little butt chin over here. And his eyes are just black circles. And apparently when you're drawing caricatures, sometimes it's okay to combine the eyebrows. Actually, you know what? I don't even think they're the same person. I think later on in the book we get more into drawing Mr. Bluke. And then I gotta do his ear. My eyes are dry because I'm like staring so hard at the paper. It's like when you play video games and you forget to blink. So I guess that's gonna be my art advice: is stare at the page so intently, but remember to blink and wet your eyeballs. I am wearing contacts though, so. And if I finish early, which I think I'm kind of finishing early now. Is there anything else I want to add? I think that's kind of it, everybody. Oh, except I went off page. Fuck. I mean off camera. But yeah, you know. You got to see a little bit of it. You just go around. And boom! 1 minute left to class. Ah, goodness. That was fun, everybody. Round of applause. First things first, I want to say congratulations. Thank you so much for spending an hour together. This was our second day, and we've already been getting some really good work. So, with that being said, what is the future of this book? Where is it going to take us? I can show you a little bit, but I don't want to give away the whole show. But here's what we're going to do tomorrow. It gets into the Bluke ball. It tells you how to divide it, how to give it an axis, how to give it dimensions. And when you get this concept is a piece of cake. And instead of going step by step every single time in the book, I mean, it jumps. It'll start here, but I don't know. It gives you practice things, and you understand the concept of the underneath construction lines. So we're kind of looking at a completed version of the things that we were doing in the first couple of days. And then once we get this, there's going to be a more completed version of the head. And then after that, you get to add in the body. So yeah, I can't show you everything in the book, but like I said, it gets into expressions. It gets into everything, literally like everything you'd need to know about how to have fun with the pencil. And if you want to go more in depth, he's got books that go more in depth. So, I mean, this book is everything in the essentials. But if you want to get everything with technique and different styles, obviously branch out. And that's why we need more artists, because this is kind of a co-creative process. I'm learning from you, you're learning from me. We're both learning from Andrew Loomis and Mr. Bluke. So last time I finished the video with drawing a Mickey Mouse just to prove that you can use these to draw anything, but I already went off on a rant about how you could do that. So, you know, the last thing that I like to do, I dropped a colored pencil and that breaks my heart because I never want the leads to break, but I don't think they do. Yesterday I did a red background, so today I'm going to do a purple background over here maybe. I don't know if that's as good. I was thinking of doing green, but I just grabbed this one first. And the reason why I do this is because, you know, it helps your drawings stand out a little better if they have a background. And I also like to have personality in my notebook. You know, everyone's a little different. Maybe you want your background for the day to be pink. I almost did pink. And what's today? Today's the 15th, so never forget, I'm going to use a pen for this, to sign and date your work. So 9, 15, 20, 21, and I'm just going to do my butterfly smiley face insignia, and that means me. Same thing over here, 9, 15, 20, 21, JSJ, butterfly, smiley face, JSJ. Jason Sebastian. And over here, let's give it yellow. I was thinking maybe orange, but definitely yellow, because yellow and blue are they complementary colors, or are they, I think they might be opposite on the color spectrum. What are your favorite colors? I absolutely love the primary colors because you can use them to make any other color. That's what I said when I was younger. If that's still true, I'm not sure. But I definitely loved yellow. Yellow was Tweety. I loved yellow as a kid. So I remember a yellow shirt that my mom gave me. That was hers, and it was a light yellow. So I guess pastels. I love pastels. I like soft colors. So, oh, no, I thought I missed a spot, but that's where the smoke is. So, that's our job for today, everybody. As for critique, now it's time for critique, because I always like to end on a critique. And then we're supposed to go around as a class and look at each other's work. That's another one of my favorite parts. And so, I like that guy the best out of these four, maybe. But I don't know. Look how much character and personality these little creatures have. That one, I struggled. You know, we drew on the line, and it's like you can't even really tell that we drew on the line. So if you want to, you know, the composition of your work doesn't have to change just because there's a roadblock, you know? It's always about solving problems when you're drawing. So the people that I'm starting to draw they're better than I did before, but they're still kind of mediocre. Not mediocre. Amateur, I guess is the word. Later in the book, it makes you like really get into how to set the dimensions correctly. So, anyways, I was trying to talk about how our faces today better than the faces that we did yesterday. That one was probably the best drawn, but I don't know if it's like my favorite feeling. That one's good too. They're like really close. Do 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 do. The ones we did yesterday, honestly, like they look pretty much the same. That's as far as we got with real human faces, but we'll start doing that later too. So yeah, we didn't draw that much later. There's really not much to compare to. How about in 3 weeks from now, we'll see how far developed the drawings are, because in 2 days, I gotta say they look pretty much the same. But let's see where we are 2 weeks from now. And again, this is an everyday thing. Draw every day. Draw every day. Draw every day, even if it's for 5 minutes. Draw what you're looking at. If you're not sure, start with your hands. You can always, they're always there. Or just go over the video, get the book up on your own, whatever. It doesn't matter. Draw something. So, again, thank you, class, for coming. Today was a wonderful Wednesday, and I'm expecting a ukulele to come, and I'm practicing some songs, so maybe I'll do some intros with some musical stuff, and this will be like a really fun art class. Yeah, just consistency, man, or woman, or whoever you are. Remember that drawing is something that you do for the satisfaction of drawing. It's like if I were to tell someone, when someone looks at these pictures, they see the finished result. They don't see the construction. You know, we had to draw each one of these line by line. Why am I even talking about this? What was I trying to say? Like, yeah, if I were to show someone these pictures, they wouldn't have the same understanding that you guys have, because we did them step by step together. So, again, this is drawing demystified. Like, this is how you draw. It's such a simple process, and it makes, you know, in the back of the book, or even in the beginning of the book, I forget. It just talks about how art is just lacking in knowledge of, like, you know, if you want to be an architect, they're like, this is how you become an architect. But if you want to be an artist and you want to learn how to draw, it's like a shitstorm of information. You never know what you're going to get. So, Drawing on the Right Side of the Brain by Betty Edwards, I think, and Fun with a Pencil by Andrew Loomis. Fun with a Pencil's like over there, and I'm not getting up. So, peace, love, blessings. Whoever your higher power is, whether it's God or Gaia or, you know, aliens from Mars. Just kidding. Great guy in the sky. Mother Earth. I don't know. I like, in Taoism, it's the way. Like, this is like, you know, it's so meditative, and meditation is a loaded word. It's like experiencing reality and being present. Drawing is about so much more. Oh, that's what I was trying to tell you. It's just more about, it's not about the finished product of the picture. It is in a way, but it's about like the action of drawing and the process of drawing. So most people don't watch people draw that often. Like, unless you're in Central Park, or somewhere where they have their easel in the middle of the road, or on the train or the bus, you know, you don't really see celebrities drawing the way that you see them singing or playing football or anything. So Let's make drawing mainstream. The action of drawing, you know? Like, that's the good part. So I can go on and on and on. I gotta finish the video because I got stuff to do. We did it. Yeah. Peace and blessings. I never know how to end these videos. I go on and on. Bye. See you tomorrow for another class. Same thing. We're gonna pick up right where we left off, and maybe we'll go a little ahead. Bye.